the way we accomplish the things we want to accomplish, the way we fix flooding in the Kingwood area and in West Houston, the way we do all that with the right people in office is we get our next generation on board. They're absolutely the future, and it impresses me so much that at a small Kingwood headquarters HCRP opening that you guys are here. I can't express and I want to discuss why you're voting Republican, why this generation is so important, and I think why we're going to be the future. First of all, it's because we know that we love our country. And we know that loving our country doesn't mean you want to fundamentally transform it. It means you appreciate it. It means you love it for what it is. Right. And if it's not living up to the ideals that you want it to live up to, then you talk about that. That's what the Republican Party stands for. It also means that you trust your fellow countrymen. You trust them to make decisions down at the local level. We don't need groups of experts in Washington to make decisions for us. That is the fundamental system that was created when the shot was heard around the world in 1776. That's what we're all about. That's why this is the future. We also understand what fairness is. And fairness doesn't mean everybody gets a little bit of everybody else's stuff. That's not fair. That's communism. That is exactly right. No. Fairness means proportionality. It means as hard as you work is what you can accomplish. That's what you get. Because if you don't live in a society like that, it really has no future. If there's no sense of responsibility for your actions actually mean something, that they actually have consequences. That's what we're teaching our kids. That's what they know fundamentally deep down. And that's what the Republican Party stands for. And speaking of fairness, I think it's also fair that you keep the money you earn. That your time is your own. That your money is your own.
All right, yes.
I think something else, and this speaks to everybody who's under 40 years old. You know what else is fair? Not giving us a multi-trillion-dollar debt that's going to put our country off the fiscal cliff. The only way you tackle that is through entitlement reform. And I tell you what, this generation is ready to talk about it. It's no longer the third rail of politics. There's hard decisions we have to make so that we can actually survive. Because we won't on our current path, and they know that. This generation is about individual liberty, liberty above all else. Liberty within a moral system. We know that we can't have absolute freedom if we are not morally grounded. And we have to recognize the Judeo-Christian values that brought us here. And so that brings me to my last point about what we're about, and it's about gratitude. Gratitude for the thousands and thousands of years of trial and error that created Western civilization since Aristotle started thinking about it. We can't just upend all that and make it go away with some kind of new democratic socialism, as if it's never been tried before. No, we had our experiments, guys. They didn't go so well.
Starting with Bradford.
Like hope and change.
That's what this generation that has the power of all knowledge right there on a little supercomputer that you can hold in your hand. You've been learning it since you could read. That's a very powerful thing. Because when you look into every issue, you find that as you dig deeper, at first it sounds good on the Democratic side. I get it. At first it sounds good, but as you dig deeper, you realize that the truth, the context, matters. And that's what Republicans stand for. That's what we stand for. That's why I'm so glad to see you here, and I'm glad that you'll be carrying the torch for us, and I hope to lead the way on that. That's